Grinnell Capital is a boutique asset management firm based in Park City, Utah.
Good morning. My name is Frank Grinnell. I've been investing in the stock market for over 20 years. It serves as my day job, and most importantly, it is my absolute passion. On Street Views, I offer my daily viewpoint on the stock market in under 7 minutes. I will cover things like the global macroeconomic picture, the mood of the market, company-specific news, secular trends with some actionable sector and stock calls. I hope my insights are useful to you, whether you are a professional money manager or a passionate investor. At Grinnell Capital, we share high-conviction ideas with subscribers, and we actively manage stock and ETF models for financial professionals and their clients, as well as individual investors. For more information, check out our website. Before we get to today's podcast, be sure to hit subscribe. And now, today's Street Views.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Street Views. We are going to probably be doing something a little different in that I believe we're going to be doing like a once a week video vodcast, if you will, instead of the daily. Hopefully you get a more quality in terms of like the best ideas once a week, best observations, and we go from there. If you have never checked us out, check out our website, grinnellcapital.com. We've got a high conviction idea list that's new this year. You can subscribe to that. We obviously run models, and we are looking forward to 2023. Speaking of which, one of the things that is potentially interesting in the concept that I threw out there a little while ago, it's entirely possible the best money this year will be made outside the United States. So with that in mind, you can see over here, this comes from our friends over at Double Line, and that is worth a listen to. If you didn't listen to Jeff Gunlock's 2023 Outlook, you should go check that out. I think it's probably on YouTube now. But he's got emerging market currency index. And if you look at currencies for emerging markets, they have just gone straight south. This is it since 2017 right there. And it looks like maybe you can see this thing poking up above the 200-day moving average. Maybe perhaps a change in trend. Take that a step further. We look at U.S. equity prices versus the rest of the world. This has been, the USA S&P 500 juggernaut since, obviously since COVID, but even before that. This goes back to 2017 and just has gone straight up and to the right. And now you've had a pretty large break in trend right there in violation of that trend line. So maybe tide's turning a little bit. Not to say, as Warren Buffett says, never underestimate the USA or never give up on the U.S. or whatever he says. But that being said, for a period of time, it might make sense to do some work outside the U.S. So if you've heard about emerging markets, maybe you should be there, don't know how. Maybe you're a little worried about all equity exposure. Here's an idea that I think can work. Emerging markets local currency, a VanEck ETF, EMLC is the ticker for those of you not watching on screen. And you can look at the chart, looks awesome. Broke out above the 200-day moving average. You got the 50-day moving up here. This thing has a yield at about 5.75%. And it's sovereign debt from many, many emerging markets. Let me show you this real quick. Where is it? Here we go. I just pulled this up to find out take a look at the components. You've got Brazilian debt, Philippines, Mexico, South Africa, Chile, Uruguay, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Turkey. Turkey's doing great these days. Chile, Poland. Poland's looking really strong. China, Peru. So it's not just like you're not just getting a bunch of Southeast Asian exposure. You've got global exposure, emerging markets, Thailand, Indonesia. Really interesting. And we are there. We are going to be there in a bigger way. I think this thing can really have some legs. If you just think about all the dynamics I just talked about, looks really interesting. And that's it. So again, check out grinnellcapital.com. Take a look at our high conviction idea list for this year. By all means, reach out, have a conversation, have an awesome weekend.
And now for some important disclaimers. This podcast is intended for financial professionals only. Grinnell Capital LLC is a state-registered investment advisor located in Utah. Services offered by Grinnell Capital can only be offered in the states of Utah, Idaho, California, and Texas, where Grinnell Capital is registered or where otherwise legally permitted. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. For additional information about Grinnell Capital, including its services and fees, please review the firm's disclosure statement as set forth on Form ADV and available at no charge at advisor.info.sec.gov. This podcast is provided for informational purposes only. The information contained herein should not be consumed, construed at the provision of personalized advice, and is subject to change without notice. This material should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell any asset or engage in a particular investment strategy. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss, including loss of principal invested, and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This podcast contains certain forward-looking statements which indicate future possibilities. Actual results may differ materially from the expectations portrayed in such forward-looking statements. As such, there is no guarantee that any views and opinions expressed will come to pass. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of Grinnell Capital, LLC, as of the date of publication and are subject to change without prior notice. This podcast contains information derived from third-party sources. Although we believe these sources to be reliable, we make no representations as to the accuracy of any information prepared by any unaffiliated third party incorporated herein and take no responsibility. Therefore, this podcast is provided with the understanding that Grinnell Capital is not engaging in rendering legal, accounting, or tax services, and we recommend that you seek out the services of professionals in these aforementioned areas. The principal investment focus of the accelerator model, the strategy, is to achieve long relative and risk-adjusted returns, primarily by investing and trading securities issued by companies that focus on the global information technology, consumer healthcare, industrial, and infrastructure sectors. These sectors are characterized by robust secular growth potential and an abundance of both new and maturing product cycles, a field of competition that creates the potential for relative winners and losers within a subsector or theme, a high degree of revenues and earnings volatility, rapidly changing sentiment and public perception, significant yet unrealized potential for globalization and superior relative liquidity. Investment in the strategy is speculative and involves a high degree of risk. The second investment model is called the ignition model. The ignition model is an all-exchange traded fund, ETF strategy, with an investment objective similar to the accelerator model. This model seeks to capitalize on long-term growth trends experienced by the market leaders in various areas and sectors. The ignition model will also seek ETF investments based on cyclical forces experienced in the U.S. and the global economy. This model is also designed to have the ability to offer some risk aversion in the event of significant market stress through investments and ETFs designed to take advantage of market volatility. The strategy's performance can be volatile. Grinnell Capital, LLC has total trading authority over the strategy. The use of a single manager applying similar trading programs can mean a lack of diversification and consequently higher risk. For more important disclaimers, please visit our website, www.grinnellcapital.com.